Welcome back to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where everyday people share the quotes that shape how they see life, offering you daily moments of clarity and connection in our beautifully messy world. Today's guest is Alexandra Terrey, a global entrepreneur who's built businesses across four continents and learned that sometimes the most profound breakthroughs come not from pushing harder, but from finding stillness. She's someone who believes in our outer world truly mirrors what's happening within us. Let's settle in and hear the wisdom that's guided Alexandra through reinvention, burnout, and back to purpose. Um, Tell us your name and what you do.
My name is Alex Terry, and I own a few different businesses, and I do coaching, mentoring, facilitating. I'm author, and I also love to do some negotiation in a business.
Okay. What's your favorite?
I think I learned from Progress is in Stillness, and it took time to understand it. But when I realized that I don't need to run all the time and chase anything, and I can just start to become more still in me, I actually progress faster. So progress is in stillness is something that resonated with me for a long time.
Can you uh, uh, explain with the context of the story? Because right now, I know what progress is, I know what's in it, but right now, with the two combination, I really need to understand deeply, just as you understand it, so I can say, oh yeah, so that's what she.
Yeah. So when we are like, there are two kind of energies or emotions we can experience. We can be in stillness or at ease, or we can be more in, worries, chase, frustrations, anger, running the business, busy all the time. So there are kind of two sides we operate from most of the time when you kind of put it into different things. So people think sometimes that stillness it's something that you need to just sit, and meditate and be still, but it's not about that. It's about calming down your nervous system, calming down the way you are, the way you operate. So I realized that when I actually calm down my nervous system and I sit more in stillness, I realized that I can make better decisions. I can actually access probably more right brain, so intuition. I can actually be more creative. So when we are busy, we are losing I guess the power, internal power of intuition and creativity. And when we move to that stillness, the space where we are, sitting and observing more and, judging, because we are most of the time, we judging all the time, right? We judging the weather, we judging people. But when we stop or pause and we allow ourselves just to sit and just to see things for who they are, what they are, and without judgment. So that's to me stillness. And that really truly made a lot of progress in my life. So I can give you example from a
Please do.
personal story. So when I started business, you started to set up the goals, and now you start to chase everything, and you start to be very busy and fast, and you try to hit the goals. But from that movement, towards getting the goal, you just narrow focused, so we become very narrow focused on one goal, and almost like nothing else matters. We're just going fast and we're just going for everything. So I realized that I lost that vision of other opportunities, and the progress that can happen for different things that I was not able to see because I was busy. I was busy with that one goal. So what I realized one day, I said, this doesn't work because I burn out, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I don't want to run like. And yeah, I just paused and I started to look inwards. So I, get back to myself and ask myself, what do I really like? What do I really want to do? Who am I? What is the real expression of myself? What is what I want to create in the world? It doesn't matter what goal I want. It's not actually important, but what is the journey that I will enjoy and I will actually be in love with what I do. So I started to actually ask normal questions that we should ask, but we never really ask, right? So how can I enjoy every day of my life in work or, in with my family? So I started to look into that, and I realized that I just need to pause and I need to start to make better decisions from values alignment, from my heart alignment. So I actually want to do what I want to do and not just hit the goal. So that was my kind of stillness when I came back to myself.
Let's take a quick pause. If you're enjoying this conversation and want more thought-provoking ideas straight to your inbox, join the Relatable Wisdom email list. It's free, quick, and filled with bite-sized insights, inspiring quotes, and behind-the-scenes reflections from our guests. Just head to relatablewisdom.com relatable.com/join. That is relatablewisdom.com/join. Or tap the link in the show notes. And hey, subscribing to the podcast helps more than you think, and it's free. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button wherever you're listening. All right, let's get back to the conversation.
And in a week time, everything changed. Well, the results were better. So even the business results, life results, health results, everything started to skyrocketing just by changing the approach and start to look inwards. Start to look, who am I? What are my values? How can I create more alignment and joy in my life and in my work? And when we start to do what we love, we usually have better results anyway. So that was basically where the stillness comes from, or progress is in stillness comes from.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That's
You're very welcome. Thank you for
yeah,
allowing me.
yeah. I feel like when you say progress in stillness, and I'm glad you gave that disclaimer at the very beginning. That oftentimes when people think of stillness, what they think of is meditate, doing like this, and they're like ooh, bambi,
Yes.
bambi, bambi. And then you're like, oh, progress is still. And like, so what do you mean? You mean if I sit down and I meditate, I'll make progress? Like, how am I going to who will get the work done if I don't do the work?
Yeah, and that's hard, right? Like we can't really create progress without action. And I think what that stillness means is really just to be aligned with your true purpose, who you are, being aligned with who you are, because not everybody wants to do podcast, for example. Not everybody wants to do, coaching. Not everybody wants to do big construction company. Everybody needs to find what is there for them. What is that true alignment with their soul? What do you want to create in the world? It doesn't matter how small or big it is. It doesn't really matter. It's more about, am I happy with what I'm doing? Am I happy with people that I have around? And if not, just try to find a way how to change and how to align. And that will become that state of stillness.
Yeah, yeah. In this context of this conversation, what is progress? So we can really understand, because there are certain things that people count as progress that is not actually
I
progress.
think it depends in different context, right? So in different context, it can be progress. I don't know, you want to improve your health, for example, right? So you see small, step by step things that, I don't know, you change your diet, you're progressing, right? So you feel better, you have more energy. In a business concept or context, it can be, I'm achieving maybe financial abundance, we are moving financially, or maybe we are creating impact. So for everyone is different, everyone choose different progress, or what is the proof of the progress. For me, for example, it was for a while personal development, right? So for me, what was important was to stop being stressed and worried and start to actually be happy again. So that was already, that was my first step in that space. So I realized I can be more happy. And when I became more happy, I was like, okay, so what's next? So next, I want to see my health getting better, or next, I want to see my relationships getting better, right? So I will start to look at, how can I improve the relationship the way that I like it and I want it as well, right? So how I always said, like, that alignment, what is important, right? Why is alignment important? Is because in relationships, you can pretend and you can be like, yeah, of course, I'm the happiest person. I want to do bungee jumping with you. I want to go there, but maybe that's not you. So why you would do that, right? So that's why it's good to know first what you truly want. If relationship must be progress, or you want to progress in relationship, what is the essence of that for you, right? Maybe it's just, sitting and having great deep conversations with someone. Maybe it's more, you want to hug and touch someone, or you want to be maybe going for walks and have some sport activities, or you want to go to mountains. Whatever is for you progress in the particular area, that's what is important. Because not everyone wants to make a lot of money in business. People sometimes just want to create impact. Sometimes it's not about, dollars and money. So it is really start to understand what it is for you, what that
Yeah,
progress means to you.
yeah. I like that. It's important. You ask yourself, why is this goal important? I mean, if I get a so number of stuff and all this, why? Why is it? I mean, I get it that the company said that it's important, but why? Instead, that way
Yeah.
you really understand it deeply, and you can then say, okay, yeah, this is it, or this is it, because most people think progress is movement.
Yes, absolutely. And I think actually progress happens when you stop moving. Like it's actually when you can just really sit and write down what is important the most to me. What is the major thing that really, really is important to me, what values are important to me. So when you look at, we can't really progress when we don't know what is important to us, because we will just go, we will just move, right? We will just go, go, go. And 10 years later, we will be like, oh, wow, why am I not happy? Or I have this big mansion and I have, the house with a pool, or I have these cars. I'm not happy. I see so many people so unhappy, and they have financial abundance because they thought that's the thing they want. So I will say always, before you start to move somewhere, stay in stillness, because you can actually find out who you are and what you truly want, what is important to you, because everything what is important to you is not same for me. It's not same for another person. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely doesn't need to be movement, because movement happen after, right?
Yeah. You have to be clear on why you're moving, because sometimes you might be moving where you're in the wrong ship, heading to the wrong direction.
Yeah. I think there's a saying that you can jump on the train, but when you realize that you're on the wrong train, more you stay there on that train, even if you are moving, far away or further you are from the real purpose, from your happiness, from your joy,
Yeah.
from everything what you're supposed to accomplish in the world. And as I said, it doesn't need to be big or small. It's more important that it's aligned with your heart, right? So we want to be sure that it is what my heart is singing and is screaming, to the world, that we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Progress in stillness. Now, I want us to clarify something, because a lot of person, there are people who think, right, who work, who instead of getting started with the thing they want to actually, they're like trying to play it around in their head, and they dream, right? I just want you to clarify, because some of them, they will take this quote as a license that, oh, she said progress in stillness. I need to be still so I can make progress. And I'm just start the business, do this thing, learn and figure it out, and learn fast, fail fast, and move on, right? And then you're like, no, she said from this podcast, Relatable Wisdom, Alex, progress is stillness. I'm trying to make progress right now. So, can you clarify that?
So yeah, that's a very good question. That's a really, really good question. Okay, so what I would suggest to do, I think very great, is to take pen and paper and start to write down what matters to me. So ask yourself questions. Okay, so you sit down, have a beautiful free time when you are in stillness, when you're sitting somewhere, and start to ask what my soul, what my heart is really dreaming about. What really I want to do. What is my essence? What impact I want to create. But I mean, when I'm talking about impact, some people think there has to be a big thing, like I'm going to do this big charitable thing. No, it is more about how do I want to have impact on person that I'm talking to right now, right? So for example, what impact I want to have with you or on you, right? Like we are talking already together. So I'm trying to, catch your pace. I'm trying to see, how you talk and how we can make someone else's life better. So writing down, how I want people to remember me, who I want to be as a human being, nothing else, because we came here with nothing. We came here on this planet naked, and we are leaving naked, right? So
Yeah.
we don't need to have so many things. It's more about who I want to be every day, how I want to show up for myself, how I want to show up for my kids, for my family, for my colleagues, for my business, and really think about it. So for me, that's the major start of who I am, how I want to be in this world. And then, I'm creating a little bit of practice or understanding what will help me to become that person. Because people are doing things for, sake of having. Like we're doing more work, we're doing more hours, we travel more, we call more people, we reach out to more people, and we think we will have more. But the true essence and true progress is who we are being, right? So who am I every day as a human being? It doesn't matter if it's in podcast, it doesn't matter if it's with clients, it doesn't matter if it's with family. So the major thing is to write down who I need to become, and from that space, then I can create everything I want. So that probably that first step when you ask, for something practical, is definitely sit down and understanding who I need to become and how can I become that person.
Ooh. Now, from what I my takeaway from what you just said so far is the fact stillness is not a passive thing, it's an active thing. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to be still now. No, like
Yes.
you have to be active and say,
Yes.
let me reflect on it
Yes.
and start writing some
Yes,
things down.
perfect. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You catch it absolutely perfectly. Yes, it's exactly that. It's active, but it's, like, we don't need to move or progress at that time. It's more about reflecting, mirroring, understanding, going deeper, going to our soul, going to our heart, understanding who we are
Yeah,
being. So yeah, exactly. It's active searching, I would say.
yeah, yeah. And I feel, right, and this is me just saying out now, that for some of the things that we want to do, right, that we really know that we want, when we plunge into those things, right, we quickly get we quickly get kind of data points for us to reflect on and say, oh, what's happening? Or is this stuff is this what I want to keep? And then you're like, okay, now this is it. But because most people, they're like, they don't want to do, they don't start the thing because they're hoping that they'll get better, and then when they get better they'll do the thing. And I'm like, it's by doing the thing that's how you get better. It's by starting a business. That's how you learn how to start a business. Now, of course, you could do an MBA and do all those stuff and all those things. They'll teach you a lot of fantastic concepts. But at the end of the day, it's different from running a business. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
yeah, absolutely.
I'm just like trying to pull out that, tell them that even though progress in stillness, it makes sense. Yeah, that's right. Progress in stillness. Everything is just connecting now. Progress in stillness. I feel like progress in stillness, it's not a contradicting statement. Unlike when you're like, oh, um, progress is not, how do I say it? You make progress when you've done things. There are things you've done, and then you spend some time in stillness to reflect on those things. And because you've done these things, you have data points on which to make decisions on. Rather than if I've never tried anything, I would be doing stillness, but there will be nothing, no lived experience, nothing, no perception to actually know
Yeah,
if I like it or not. It's like if they call me, I'll be the judge of this food for the first, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good, this is good, this is terrible. And I'm like, how did you know it's good, it's good, it's terrible? Well, I just, you didn't taste, you didn't perceive or any, none of those.
yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. It has to be experience and action, right? So when we realize or figure out who we are, who we want to become, what type of person I want to be every day, how I want to show up. So then I show up as that person. And then I reflect again, right? Like I reflect again, okay, so have I been aligned with my values? Did I live and demonstrated my values? Did I do what I said I will do? Did I do that? Did I actually stay true to myself and like really understand? Because a lot of people live very busy life, very fast life. So that progress in stillness is exactly that, right? Like we actually pause. We actually pause between that. We pause every week, or we pause every day. We pause every day. It depends how people, choose to do it. You can do it every day. You can do it every week, but minimum of every week because you need to pause and you need to reflect. Okay, what have I done this week? Did I do actually something that I promised to myself? Did I take care of my health? Did I add value to someone's life? I don't know. Did I show up? How do I show up? So I think, when people say, I want to keep promises because I don't like people that don't keep promises. So did I keep promises this week? Exactly. You need to actually do something and live your week. Then you can reflect. Then you can go back and, okay, so I want to improve something because this is not exactly what I wanted. So really improving the life we live, and it's the state of being, right? So what is my emotional home, how I feel every day, how I show up every day. That's the most important part to reflect on, not on KPIs. Yes, KPIs are important in business, but we can still create that, right? But if I am
Uh,
not good person, my KPIs can be, I don't know, great for month, but it doesn't show me that I'm a great person because maybe 6 months later, I'm not going to have any clients if I'm not the good person, right? Or the person that I need to be for my clients. So it's very short term when we are, just driven by KPIs or numbers. So yes, of course, measurements are important, but it doesn't really show you in long term run how that looks like.
yeah. And that is the idea of the doer versus the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's yeah, and it's so much, right? So we can focus on good things, we can focus on bad things, we can focus on things that are serving us, or we can focus on things that don't serve us. So I
Yeah.
think, having a choice and reflect on that choice, like did I take that choice today or yesterday, is really important.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Alex, for sharing your favorite quotes with me and helping me make sense of.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me, Wisdom.
Yeah.
Really, really pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Where can my listeners learn more about you and what
So yeah, would you like the major thing probably what I would love to mention is that I just published a book. So I don't know if you will share the link in a podcast description. I will be happy to give you the link to my book that was just released, Limitless Soul. And we do a lot of limitless mind, limitless soul programs and launches and group coaching. So we have a few different options. Where I always said to people, the best way is to look at, okay, so what is there for me? Like, is that something that I want to work at? Is it something that I want to improve right now? So when you're thinking about improving your emotions, your results, or your mindset, or the way you feel every day, definitely there's a lot of choices financially as well. To choose from one to one, they're more expensive. Or working in a group with other amazing people, which is a little bit less expensive. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of options. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Is the link on your pod?
Yes, I will also send you the link, but yeah, there is a definitely
Okay.
link on my Podmatch, I think, to the
Okay.
book and the lounge. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I'm asking, usually I'll just go there and copy the link and I add it when I'm editing and uploading for the show.
Yeah, I think it's also I think I put the Limitless Lounge in the link into your form as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it should be
What's
there. Yeah.
what's the name of the web
limitlesssoul.com.
dot? Okay. Limitlesssoul.com. Okay.
Yeah, and it's only 2 S. So Limitless Soul,
Oh, okay. Okay. It's 2
2 S.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Limitlesssoul.com. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Have a beautiful
Yeah.
day.
You've been listening to Relatable Wisdom, and I've been your host, Wisdom Okonkwo. You've been listening to the podcast where every story, quote, and insight helps you see life a little differently. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the show on your favorite podcast app and share it with someone who loved the conversation. For more inspiring voices and timeless wisdom, visit relatablewisdom.com. Until next time, keep living, learning, and collecting wisdom that matters most to you.